You know what I am kind of interested in was like demons and shit, but that's like not even in there, right?
No.
We talked about that. Yeah. So what the fuck?
Now, some of it is. Solomon used demons to build the temple.
See, I want to know some fucking sick ass lore where Jesus like fights the demons.
Jesus didn't do
I
anything.
know it sucks, bro.
That's a bummer.
Bacon cream pies in your mom's eyes. Bacon cream pies all the time.
Anybody see my shoe?
I hate tomatoes, but I love ketchup.
Can't find it. I'm
That's
looking
just
everywhere.
a thing, and it's not even true.
Please, I have to
taste
drive
when I
home.
think about you, and I have to say,
Have an edible
it was
earlier.
hard to leave you
I think I'm
alone.
gonna shit my pants.
Please, God, help me leave you alone. All right, scumbag. All right, so we got this is pod 44.
That's right. Jesus, the numbers are getting big. I'm starting to get to a point where I don't know how to count this high anymore.
Yeah, dude, count to 44. See what happens. You'll
1,
be
2,
44
3,
seconds
4,
later.
5, 6, 7,
Hold off
8,
on that,
9,
Emmett.
10.
So check this out. Check this out. In case you missed it, which you did, because we're not gonna release it. We made a joke about Christian being a guy who found Christian skin in a fucking.
It was a truck stop in
truck stop.
Salina, yeah.
Yeah.
You ever been to Salina, Kansas? It's the only place I've ever been to that's actually proud of having a truck stop. They have all the signs coming up to Salina. It says, "Come visit our giant truck stop." And it's like,
I'll tell you what. So is Georgia, but it's Buc-ee's. So,
oh no, we got Busy Bee in Georgia. It's Buc-ee's out here.
dude, there's 3 Buc-ee's from Atlanta to Valdosta.
Really?
There's 3 whole Buc-ee's in that 3-hour stretch.
Between Valdosta and Florida, there's 2 Busy Bees. Busy Bees is basically, you been to one? It's basically a Buc-ee's. They have all the jerky and all the chocolate and candy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of all that crap.
Well, that place isn't a cult like Buc-ee's is, where the people go in and they fight each other over T-shirts. But you know, you can buy the art on the walls in a Buc-ee's. Who the fuck is like, I'm a truck driver, right? I'm gonna
It's a
stop at a
Buc-ee's
truck
art.
stop. I'm like, whoa, a fake Da Vinci. I need that in my cab.
Stupid.
Buc-ee's art. All right, so check this out. I had a task. Christian set me up to it. But while we were at the Pop Culture Con, I bought this little freaking first issue, Wally West as the Flash. And then Christian was like, hey, you got to read that, and then you got to sell me on it. And I was like, see?
I want to see you fuck up selling me on a Flash comic.
I'm not going to be able to do it, but I will tell you what the plot is.
All right,
How about that?
that works.
Okay, so starts off. Oh yeah. Okay, so
So this is right after Crisis, right?
yes, it's right after the Flash like gives his life or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
Crisis
It's
on
right
Infinite
after
Earth.
that.
Okay, yeah.
So he's like wearing the Flash suit, and everybody that he comes in contact with is like, "Hey, Kid Flash," and he's like, "It's just Flash." He's like super salty about it. It's
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then another couple interesting things. There was a McDonald's like spot where he like eats a bunch of McDonald's, and it's got the whole sign and everything. And then there was a Marlboro spot, Marlboro like cigarettes.
Nice.
Yeah, he's like running through a city, and he's like, "Yeah, this is
Marlboro country.
I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
God bless.
So
dude.
yeah. Anyway,
Putting
so the plot-
cigarette ads in a fucking
I
kid's
know.
book, dude.
so it's his birthday. It's his 20th birthday.
Yeah.
And he goes, and there's like all the people from like the Teen Titans are there.
Yeah, because he was a Teen Titan. Yeah, so that makes sense.
Okay, so he's like at this birthday party, all the Teen Titans are there, and all he's talking about is like, "Oh, I'm so sad because I have to eat all the time."
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. And then, and it's like, yeah, okay, we know that.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I mean?
a well established.
Yeah. But so he's like scarfing his face down, and then but what's more interesting is that he has a max speed of 705 miles per hour,
You're so fucking slow.
and he's like, he just turned 20,
Mhm.
and he's been acting like his speed is like decreasing.
700 is not that fast.
700 is not fast at all.
No.
They're like So he goes to the doctor, or something going down at the doctor. They call him up. So he needs to like bring a heart for a lady to get a heart transplant.
Okay, yeah.
That's the whole plot of this thing, right? So he gets the heart, and the doctor's like, yeah, you have to be there within 5 days. And he's like, it's going to take me 3 days to get to Seattle. And he's from New York. He's not in Central City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
So he's in New York, and he is like, he's like, yeah, it's going to take me 3 days. I can only go 705 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It was so weird that he said that to me. But anyway, he starts running, and it's like actually 3 pages of him running and just talking to himself.
It just looks like the cover.
Yeah, he's like running in the snow and like, oh, it's snowy out here. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, boys? like the first issue of Wally West is the Flash, and you're going to do this?
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty lame story,
it sounds
right?
pretty mid.
But it's kind of got a twist at the end. So so he's running, and then he like trips over this dead dude in the snow. He's like fucked up. Yeah, he's like, oh, this guy just got fucked up. And he's like, who did this to you? And he's like, it's this guy. And he keeps saying some weird fucking names like something Savage or whatever the fuck.
Oh, is it Vandal Savage?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, wild,
that's a big player, dude.
Yeah. So then he fucking, the guy dies in his arms, and he runs to like the sheriff office, and he's like, hey, this guy died. And they're like, who the fuck are you? Get in the cell. And he just flees. And then he gets there, gives the lady her heart, and then fucking goes to McDonald's. And then he comes back and talks to the lady, and she's some fucking crazy historian. And he's like, hey, you ever heard of Vandal Savage?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah.
He's
some
a fucking
Egyptian,
immortal caveman.
Egyptian immortal guy.
He's not an Egyptian. He is a caveman. He's not
even
a human
something
being.
About Egypt and something else.
He was
and
alive.
They had, like some godly. Like,
so he's immortal, and he's been alive since before human beings, like Homo sapien, was even a thing.
Okay, yeah.
So he was every god ever was Vandal Savage, is basically.
Oh, okay, I see.
When I told you he was a power player, man, he's a big fucking deal. He usually runs the Legion of Doom.
So he actually runs into him, the guy, but he doesn't like. Vandal Savage doesn't do anything to him.
That's crazy.
They like exchange a word, and that's it.
Do you remember?
Because he's like, but hold on. And then so he like finishes that transplant. She's fine, and then they pay for a flight for him to go home.
Weird.
Because he doesn't run home.
Okay.
That's another big thing. Is like
really
he
weird.
Doesn't have any power. Like he's just like, oh, I'm drained. I can't. I don't have power. Beats up some fucking.
So they didn't have the
skyjackers.
special food at this point?
Apparently not, dude. The dude like could barely even move. It was ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm like, you're 20 years old. You should be in your prime.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And what's really crazy, too, is I know Wally West Kid Flash has ran way faster than 700 miles an hour because I've seen them.
I know, right? Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck?
You can't tell me you move fast enough to fuck with Mirror Master, who literally moves at the speed of light.
Another thing, too, because it's like he fucking beats the piss out of some skyjackers on the way back on the flight and breaks his hand.
What the fuck?
And they cast it up, and he's like, oh, it's going to take 2 weeks. And he's like, all right. And then he just lets it heal for 2 weeks.
Wally West is the shittiest Flash.
What the fuck? Yeah. He like literally takes a break for 2 weeks and chills. But anyway, he goes back home. He goes back home, right? On the flight. And then when he gets home, it's like midnight, and everybody from the party's not there, except there's one present. And he opens it up, and it's like a fucking organ in a box, and he's like, yo, what the fuck? And Vandal Savage is in his house.
Oh.
And he's like says something fucking weird.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends. It's like a twist.
Now, that sounds phenomenal. I actually would read this. It sounds like a good read.
Yeah, I mean, but it sucks because you don't get to know what happens.
Yeah.
You have to get the next issue to figure out what happens.
That's how comics work.
But God damn it.
But do you remember we watched the Suicide Squad movie that had Reverse Flash in it?
Yeah.
The actual bad guy that was in that was Vandal Savage, the one that had them sew the thing on his heart, and then Reverse Flash was like, and took it out of him.
No.
Oh, you don't remember we watched that movie? It was the same one where he was all like...
Yeah, with the bullet hole thing.
Yeah, it was the same movie. Anyways, the main bad guy in that movie, the one who had like $1 billion, trillion, quadrillion dollars, that was Vandal Savage. He's literally like so rich that it's doesn't. I mean, like you got to think about it. The guy's been alive forever, so like, yeah, he's got fucking like I don't know railroad bonds from back when they first built the fucking railroads here in the 1800s, and then like he's got like actual like Qin dynasty shit from China that's worth like billions of fucking dollars. Guy's crazy rich, very powerful, very cool guy, very cool villain. I like the idea of he's not a human.
I imagine being like immortal and then you're just like, man, nothing is worth anything.
That's literally the outlook he has. Yeah, he wants to destroy the planet and bring it back to the dinosaur age. That's his kind of dream. He wants to go back. He misses it.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah, except for he
Sucks
knows how
to
to do
suck.
it. He knows how to do it.
Oh,
He
okay.
almost does it on
Oh,
multiple.
shit.
Yeah,
Good man.
he's like
The lady was like, yeah, he could be the most perfect good guy, or he could be the worst evil guy.
he's done it all. Yeah, that's the thing is that he's been Gilgamesh. He's also been Vlad the Impaler. He's both sides of the spectrum of hero villain because he's been alive forever and he gets bored. But I love anything where that they start taking like historic characters and they're like, oh yeah, like they did that with Marvel Eternals. They had literal Gilgamesh in it.
Here, let me look up what the lady actually says, because she said something about the Egyptian shit.
Okay. They call him Khufu. Be hilarious because Hawkman's Khufu.
Oh, also, he saves this lady, doesn't know who she is, shows up to her, like, not wearing his uniform, and he's just, or his costume, or whatever the fuck you say, and he said, she's like, oh, are you the Flash? And he's like, yep. Just gives his identity away in the first episode. I was like, yo, bro. And then the doctor finds out immediately.
Yeah.
Like, yo, two civilians.
Whoa. I saw you. You're really slow, right? You're the guy that's only as fast as like a jet plane. You gotta be the fastest man alive.
The red streak.
It's not even a red
The streak in my pants.
Yeah.
Oh my god, hold on.
起初，神创造天地。
The name is like a virulent disease running through European history. In ancient Sumer and Egypt, as advisors to the kings and pharaohs. Some say he was a king. He has been compared to Machiavelli and Nostradamus. Magical powers were attributed to him. I am not saying he exists. Immortality is a bit much even for me.
Yeah, so
That's what she said.
his backstory's dope. You know how he got his powers? He was a fucking caveman and he was actually stupid. And a meteorite fell out of the sky and it was glowing and he was cold and he laid on top of the meteorite. And it just made him smart and immortal and gave him small magical powers.
Dang, dude, that's tough.
Yeah. Imagine you're just an actual monkey idiot. You're just like,
Actual
cold,
monkey idiot.
tired. You lay down and then you wake up and you're all like, I understand cold fusion. Before humans.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like year one, where he eats the fruit.
Yeah.
Not really. That's funny, though, because he eats the fruit, and they're like, oh, are you all knowledgeable? And he's like, ask me a question. I don't know, ask me a question. He's like, there's a snake on my foot. He's like, in the form of a question. There's a snake on my foot? Yes!
There's a snake on my foot. In the form of a question. There's a snake on my foot? Correct. What do I do?
Yo, bro, what the fuck?
Dude, I've been getting really big back into the religion thing.
Yeah.
We had an issue with Gideon's school again, even with the new school they fucking gave him meat. I told you about that, and it was a whole ordeal. So Lex has asked me to delve back through, read all my texts, and see if fish is okay. She wants to go pescatarian. I'm not about it, right? Like, the whole reason that I committed to it, and the whole thing, like, is the reincarnation. So it's the consumption of flesh in general. All life is equal whenever that all the souls share the same bodies.
Dude, I thought you committed to it because you were broke.
No.
Like, you used to tell me, like, the tofu is cheaper, and that was like,
Tofu is cheaper.
why?
No. I mean,
I
that
was
wasn't.
like, all right.
No, it's just cheaper. No, dude, I don't know. I had a fucking experience, man. It was just
Epiphany,
weird.
dude.
Yeah. And then, I was reading the books and Some of it makes sense, and then you have the historical figures that are all like, holy shit, these books were written before the Bible was canon. It was written before half of the shit in the Bible was written, and there's more physical copies of like the Apocryphon of John.
But they ate meat like a long time ago, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Bible.
Some of it, yes. Some of it they were vegetarian. Some of it they only ate meat whenever that they did. So in the Old Testament, meat consumption really only happened if you sacrificed the animal to God, because you couldn't really afford to constantly be killing your animals, right? It wasn't like it was today, you know. So most of the time, traditionally, the only time that they would eat meat was Hebrews would do it after they sacrificed it to God. Romans would do it after they sacrificed it to Ares or whoever, you know. Like that's how the meat consumption used to work. Because it was a royal thing, right? It was a high up thing. But whenever you get to John the Baptist, there's two conflicting texts. One says that John the Baptist survived in the wild with nothing but the word of God and honey and locusts. And some of it says that he survived in the wild with nothing but the word of God, honey, and bread. And that was a really big pivotal thing for like the Bogomils.
That's like the translation, right? Or...
Well, these are old texts, so yeah. And what I'm talking about is two rivaling texts that exist about the same time from very different people saying two different things. One of them got buried literally in the desert in Egypt and was found, and one of it became the biblical canon. But what's crazy is, like I was saying, we have more copies of the Apocryphon of John than we do the Gospel of Matthew. There are more copies existing from back then than there are of fucking the Odyssey. We have more physical copies existing from antiquity of the Apocryphon of John than we do of the fucking Iliad and the Odyssey. That's crazy.
You know what else is kind of weird to me is like, I mean, was fucking Christianity like a big deal?
So
why are they making so many copies? My question.
It was a big deal. So okay, this is going to sound really funny because of how we look at Christianity today. But
And
one of the big things
did
about
they even
it,
have like written stuff? Like, I mean, they didn't have
Yeah.
newspapers until 1930 or some shit.
well, yeah, they had written books. Yeah, that's what they found. They had.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
people
but
wrote
it's,
letters,
but
back
it's
and
more
forth.
like one guy writing one
Mm-mm. It
thing.
didn't- No, it was way. You're thinking about it like they were still cave people in the year zero, and it wasn't like that at all.
They fucking chiseled the shit on the tablets.
That's
dude.
not. They had paper and papyrus and shit 1,000 years before Christ, dude. The
Oh, here's
tablets.
another thing too. Here's another thing. People are like, "Oh yeah, fucking the whole fucking like." When was Christianity created? Like 1300 or something, right?
No, it's the year zero.
Okay, so the year zero.
Yeah.
I think if you look it up, it says 1300 on fucking Google.
No, because the Nicene Creed was in the year 470 something, so that was way
Okay,
before.
yeah,
and
I
that
don't know.
is what
But
made the Roman Catholic Church the Roman
Anyway,
Catholic Church.
fucking. So that's when Christianity is created, but people have existed thousands of years before that.
Mhm.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, the whole point of Christianity is that it is a new religion, and it's coming off the coattails of Hebrew, not Judaism, but the Hebrew faith, which was, before
Yeah,
Second
but
Temple.
it's like,
So their whole
they
thing
were
is
like, oh yeah, the world started at year
Yeah.
zero. It's like, what the fuck? are you
no,
talking
no,
about?
those people are stupid. Anybody who looks at the aging in the Bible and says that the planet's only 7,000 years old, stuff like that, you're actually just stupid, man. Even in the Bible, even literally in the Bible, they say things like, "Oh, a day for God is 30 years for us." You know, like it's all metaphorical and bullshit, and none of it's meant to be taken literal, right?
Yeah, I can see like the time frames are fucking weird, right?
Mm.
Like you can't exact date shit, you know?
Well, you would think, but again, back to what I'm talking about. With modern technology, we can carbon date, and a lot of these stuff, they would write the date that they wrote the stuff down. So the way that stuff worked back then, they didn't have printing presses, but it was still distributed. Monks and scribes would get down, and they wrote in scrolls. You know that, right? This was in the olden days before they had codices, books. They wrote in scrolls. Well, Christians changed that. Christianity is where you first start seeing books and codices, where they would take instead of having scrolls that you got to wrap up and then they get torn up and you got to lay shit up here and fucking down here so it doesn't unroll, and you got to they did books. And
Yeah.
whenever they found the book that
I love
has,
the scrolls, man.
well, I do too, but they don't hold up that well.
Yeah, no, they're terrible.
This isn't paper like you're thinking about. We're talking about papyrus. It's
Yeah,
really
garbage.
brittle. It's brittle. So the codices that they found have backing in it that's dated, and it's dated to the year 120. and they did carbon dating on it, and they were like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, you want to talk about the start of Christianity, the official dating for the earliest book in the Bible is like the year 74, and it's one of the Apostle Paul's works. And there's actually a very big thing where there's a movement of people who are, and this isn't something that a lot of historians agree with. A lot of historians,
Jesus born 0?
No, 0 is when he died, supposedly, but the dating was actually wrong. The dating was actually wrong. He actually died in like the year 3 or 4 or something. But he was born in about the year -30, so 30 BC, if you want to go off of that.
It is wild, man.
Yeah, because AD is after death.
Yeah.
After death.
I've heard that.
But it's also actually means Auto
Yeah,
Domini, which is the year of our Lord.
Oh, okay, is it?
Which is basically the same thing.
Right.
Because when he died, he became Lord, and that was the year of our Lord after death.
Yo, here's another thing, too. Another thing, just like, because people in other fucking countries or continents have not heard of this religion.
Okay.
What's that about?
What do you mean? You
Saying,
mean like people who live on
doesn't-
Sentinel Island, or
I don't know, like fucking
what do you? Are you saying that there's like? I'm trying to get what you're getting at. Are you saying
Like-
there's no Asian churches?
where did all this happen? Like the Jesus
Middle East,
stuff.
Middle East,
Where's
Jerusalem, Israel, Jerusalem, Palestine.
that? Okay, so
I don't know
what
how
the
to be
fuck?
more
Where did
literal.
we get it?
What do you mean? How did we get it? Do you not know how
Why
the
do the
humanity?
British? Why do the British know about it,
Dude,
No, I don't know shit.
Yeah, I could tell.
I also don't know geography, so I don't
At
know
the
what fuck
time
that
of
is.
Jesus, Rome was a fucking city in Italy, which is like, what, a 5-day sailing trip to fucking England? All of Europe had Christianity from the start, from the actual get-go. It started there.
Yeah, but what about the Indians and shit that lived here?
They didn't have Jesus. Yeah, they had no idea. We brought it all here with missionaries, and then
That's
now
what I'm saying. So what the fuck?
Well, what do you mean, what the fuck? That's like, you didn't know about Hinduism until somebody told you about it.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's how all
like,
religion works.
That's what I'm saying, man. So it's like, yo, how are you supposed to fucking believe that?
Yeah. So
You know?
there's a defense for a lot of different religions when they come to different things, right? Like the Hindus will defend it because they have the Vedic texts, which are the oldest written texts. Oldest written, like scribed texts that are their bib. They have the oldest out of everybody. They beat Jews, they beat everybody. The Jews have things like the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were found in the area of Jesus Christ, dated to the time of Jesus Christ. And it is a complete Old Testament. Crazy, right? Because it shouldn't have existed. But it did. We didn't think that the Old Testament actually existed until about the year 200, 300, that it was actually compiled and proper. You know? Or you can look at Scientologists, you know, they have their own defenses of their religion. Every religion has a defense, and there's always something that you could look at as a sign of validity. Like I talked with Mikey about if you're a smart person and you delve into like the Norse stuff, right? And remember we talked about this, the Euler and Rama. Euler and Rama are basically the same God.
Sure.
And you can do the same thing with Christianity. You can take it back to the Hindu faith, and then you can take that back to the Canaanite faith. From the Hindu
Yeah,
faith,
but you can't be like,
you can take it
Jesus
all the way.
is Sobek.
No, Jesus isn't God. That's the thing.
Yeah,
You're-
but
you're-
you can't say God is Sobek.
No, because Sobek was one single aspect of a god, right? And I'm not talking about the Egyptians, because the Egyptians actually don't matter in what I'm talking about. The stuff I'm talking about predates some of
Let
the
me tell you
Egyptian-
something. The fucking churches out here
They're weird.
do not educate you on this fucking shit.
No. Why would they educate
they
you
just
on
try
it?
to fucking coerce
Dude,
you into
yeah,
fucking
they
doing it.
lose control over you if that they let you be educated, right? And conservatives use Christianity as a fucking weapon. You use it as this. It's easy for kids because you can scare the fuck out of kids. You just like, if you disobey your parents, you're going to burn in hell for eternity. And they do that shit. If you go to Sunday school and you're a little kid and you pay attention, like look at how they treat kids at churches and stuff, dude. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It's weird. It's manipulation. That's all religion is manipulation. The difference about what I'm talking about and Christianity.
I was the last time I was at a church,
Mm.
I walked in, and right when I walked in, there was this lady, 2-year-old kid maybe. She pulled his pants all the way down, like his pants were off, and just spanked him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what? Like, dude, we're in a public place, man. Like, it's all right, but like, why you gotta pull his pants all the way off? Yo, that's fucked up, man. Like, dude.
I don't know, dude. And that's the thing that sucks. I'm sorry. That's
You're
the thing that sucks with a lot of the like Baptists and stuff that you talk to, man. They're really controlling and very manipulative-y.
Yeah, I think it depends on when the writing was, you know? I feel like the early writing is
That hasn't changed though. That's the thing.
better.
If you get a proper
Well, the
translation,
further on down the line, the more manipulative it's going to get, I feel like, you know?
you would think, but the thing that I'm trying to tell you is that isn't the case. The oldest surviving copies of the Old Testament are word for fucking word exactly what we have today. There are so few discrepancies and differences between the Dead Sea Scrolls and what you will find in a King James Bible that it would blow your fucking mind. I sat down I have like 10 Bibles at my house, and I've sat down and flipped through and done comparisons through them. And the translations is where you really see how bad they fuck things up, right? So the one that I use is the NRSV. It's the New Revised Standard Version, and it's a study like for people who are looking into it, not like a study Bible for people who want to learn how to serve God. Because I'm not that kind of Christian at all. I want to get back to the source like you're talking about. I want to find the purest version of it, but it doesn't really exist because Christianity wasn't a singular religion. What you had was 12 disciples who split off and started 12 different versions of Christianity. And you see that in the Bible. Just looking at the four main Gospels, we can look at Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John, right? John has a completely different view of Christ than the other three. The other three are almost word for word identical books. There's actual fucking giant paragraphs that you can take from Mark, and it's in Matthew, and it's in Luke. You can take shit from Matthew, and it's in Luke.
Did the people think that Jesus was a deity, though?
John, yes. John, yes. Mark, no. He was just a prophet. Matthew, he was a prophet who ascended whenever the doves came down at his baptism. It's different in every book. The Bible isn't a single book. You have a collection of different books with different viewpoints. So some of them, yeah, the Johannine, you look at John, the Gospel of John, you look at 1st and 2nd John. They very much believed that Jesus was God. Not a God, not a deity, not an emanation of God. He was God. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. To think that you could comprehend a deity on a level where you're like, yeah, they can just exist in a physical form. We're talking about something that's all powerful, right? You couldn't begin to comprehend that. It exists in a world outside of our own. It's basically like Cthulhu, a fucking eldritch being. It doesn't exist in this reality. So for people to look you in the eyes and tell you that they know, it's kind of silly, don't you think?
Dude, I don't fucking know, man. I gave up on religion a long time ago. So,
yeah.
What? I don't know what. I haven't even read the fucking thing, so.
I mean,
I don't know.
I honestly wouldn't say just like sit down and read the Bible because it's boring. It's ridiculous. The Old Testament, especially, because you'll have like Seb begot Methuselah. Methuselah begot this, and you'll have literally.
You know what I am
pages
kind of interested in was like demons and shit, but that's like not even in there, right?
No.
We talked about that. Yeah. So what the fuck?
Now some of it is. Solomon used demons to build the temple.
See, I want to know some fucking sick ass lore where Jesus like fights the demons.
Jesus didn't do anything.
I know it sucks, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is you're missing the point of what Jesus is supposed to be in the religion. Well, if you think he's supposed to be Superman,
I'm not looking at it as a follower of Christ. I'm looking at it as like the way I would look at Ganesh. What is his lore? That's fucking sick.
Yeah,
you know, I don't believe in Ganesh.
Yeah, but
I just think his lore is cool.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at, that's what I'm saying, is that you're looking at it a little different. Because Ganesh isn't a god, he's an aspect of a god. It's different. Whenever you look into the Gnostic stuff, that's when you want to see some cool lore and shit, dude. Look at Yaldabaoth, how he just falls out and becomes the demiurge. He crafts this evil world and forces everybody's souls and stuff to be stuck here in this clay. Because he's an imperfect god, he's an abortion that shouldn't exist. And that's according to the Gnostics, that's the God of the Old Testament. I have always, from a very young age, read the Bible and been like, the guy in the New Testament and the guy in the Old Testament, that don't make sense for him to be the same person. Because you'll read the Old Testament and it's all like, your daughter's bleeding from her vagina, you need to kill 2 turtle doves, slit them by the throat, let them bleed out, take them to your priest. And then in the Old Testament, it's all like, oh yeah, just love everybody. And in the New Testament, it's just like, just love everybody, man. Just don't let women talk and love people. You'll be okay.
Let me tell you something. How disappointing would it be if Jesus was just a fucking crackhead?
That's the thing, probably.
It'd be so disappointing.
It'd
be so fucked up, dude.
There exists a secret gospel of Mark, supposedly, where it says that Jesus was gay. And that one, I think, outside of being completely plausible, because, I mean, a person of power back then having young men with him,
Definitely.
completely, like, not, I mean, it's disgusting and sickening, but, I mean, it's just what happened back then.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it happens today.
I know,
Happens
but not
with-
like...
and corruption
This-
exists in
well,
all people. I mean,
I'm not talking about corruption. It wasn't like that back then because they didn't have laws and shit that said you couldn't fuck little kids and stuff like that. It didn't work like that. You could trade a horse to somebody and take their kid and be fine. I mean, the homosexual thing was a little bit weird, but not in knowledgeable circles, like the Plato type people, you know, the thinkers. That was normal, man.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird how normal it was.
Definitely.
Again, you need to check out the Symposium. I don't know if you have, but it's Plato's thing. And he says in his eyes that the most perfect form of beauty is a young prepubescent boy. But talking about like arousal beauty, it's weird. The stuff that they wrote is weird, man.
Yeah, plus,
And it's-
like, how much did they understand, like, language?
A lot more than you think. They weren't idiots, dude. Ever since the first people, like, just because we look at like the Sumerians, right? And we're like, they were the first people who wrote stuff down. You did the little triangle things, you know, where they had the sticks. Just because that looks simple and there's not a whole lot of it, we don't know what they could have done verbally, dude. They could have been way more complex than us. We have no idea.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard to say with history too, because that, you know, the victors get to write history, right? The people who win. So the Catholics have pretty much written all of Christian history.
That's what I'm saying. So there's further on down the line, the more shit they write, the more they want to shape the future. And that's what I was saying.
Well, it doesn't. No, it's actually, they write less,
'Cause,
actually,
like,
as more goes on. They don't write more.
Like when I was talking about the Puritans or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of like made their whole religion off of like fucking, or based off of like
Yeah,
what
I
they
know what
wanted
you're
their
getting at.
village to be like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. A lot of that stuff's really weird. And then you have like the Southern Baptists who split off from the regular Baptists because they didn't want black people in their church after the Civil War.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate thing. You have the Mormons who believe that black people are cursed because that they are the mark of Cain. Like, there's some pretty outlandish shit that some of these Christians believe, dude, when you dig into it. It's kind of like almost Scientology
Dude,
with
Cain-
half of them.
Cain, the first murderer, dude. The first documented murderer.
Yeah, I know, right?
Tough gig, buddy.
Tough gig, yeah. So another weird thing is that the Gnostics don't even believe that Cain and Abel were actually the children of Adam and Eve. Seth was the first actual child. What happened was they think that Yaltabaoth, the Old Testament God, raped Eve, and that's how she had the two imperfect and evil kids that were fighting with each other and ended up killing each other.
Adam and Eve is like a fable to me.
Yeah.
Because it's the whole thing with the snake and the apple, and it's like, okay, yeah, so there's
it's
a
like an
lesson
Aesop's
learned.
fable. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the whole Bible is. The whole Bible. It's all allegory. That's what I'm saying. If you just read it, it's all metaphor. It's all allegory. It's all
Yeah,
Aesop's fable.
see, that would be cool. It would make way more sense to me. Like, people take that shit so literal, man.
I know.
It's wild.
It is weird. I mean, it's so crazy, too, because, like, Song of Solomon and the Book of Psalms, it's literal poetry, and people are like, it's literal. It's not. It's actual poetry. It's figurative. Enjoy it for the beauty that's there. Gleam it. Take what you want from it. I think, even if you're not a religious person, probably reading the Bible would be difficult, but it's worth it.
Dude, for me,
It's enjoyable. There's a lot of good lore in it. Really cool stuff like
reading
Gideon.
alone is terrible for me. Any
Yeah.
reading. I don't read. So,
I know.
yeah, that's just,
Well, audiobooks are great for that.
yeah.
Audible. But I don't know, man. I love it. It's cool. There's so many fun stories. You got Jonah in the whale. You got Noah in the ark. I mean, it's David and Goliath. You got Gideon and the 300 troops. I mean, like, there's really fun and exciting shit that happens in it when you just treat it like a book, and it's fun. And I don't know.
Dude, is there
I love it.
any fucking group of people that aren't religious? Because that'd be cool, right?
I mean, what do you mean by aren't religious? Because like a lot of the Chinese people, they only do like ancestor worship, you know?
Yeah, like, is there like some fucking place in Australia where there's just people who just don't give a shit about religion?
Oh, I mean, dude, Florida. There's places here in the United States.
I feel like
California.
Christianity is a big deal in Florida.
There is, but there's so many atheists. It's
I think
ridiculous.
all of America, Christianity is such a big deal.
Not really. It really, really isn't as big a deal.
I feel like the North is more accepting of anything.
Yeah. Well, the West, not the North. The West is more accepting. California, Arizona, New Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you go up, you go up north, you end up in like Massachusetts and stuff, where like the Puritans were. In Pennsylvania, there's still Amish people.
Yeah.
Like the northeast coast, nah. Maybe New York. But
have you seen any of those videos where it's Amish people and they like, there was a video I watched and it was an Amish guy who got to drive a car for the first time.
No.
It's hilarious.
I watched one where they caught this drunk Amish dude riding this thing, and he was just all over the fucking side of it, like, whoa.
God, dude, I can't imagine being an Amish guy.
They were like, hey, man.
What is the purpose, though, of that?
Man, there's so much. Because it's not
is
just
it a religious thing? Is why
it
they
is a
don't
religious
do it?
thing,
Okay.
yeah. It's not just them. It's also the Quakers and a
No
bunch of others.
technology.
It's
Fuck
not.
technology.
It isn't that. It isn't that. Like, everybody says it's that, and they treat it like that. But they have
no
technology.
electricity?
No electricity. They have
Why?
technology. For them, technology stopped in like.
Electricity is natural, though.
It's not. It's not. Harnessing isn't natural. I mean, the only time that it occurs in nature is like what? Lightning and static electricity when you walk.
Yeah, kinetic.
Kinetic
They use
energy
that,
is not
though.
electricity.
They use that, though. They use, like, water mills and shit.
Yeah.
So-
They didn't use it to generate electricity. They used water mills to do a mill. They crushed corn and stuff to make flour.
Yeah, but it, like, what I'm saying is, like, it pushes shit.
Yeah, but there's no electricity.
Yeah.
In order to, I mean, yeah. So for them, technology stopped in like before the Industrial Revolution, basically. They split, I want to say, in like 1880, and at that moment, it just stopped for them. They wear the same clothes, same hairstyles.
Wild, man.
Yeah, they don't take showers, bro.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo,
Yeah, imagine doing the dirty on that.
fuck that.
It's got to be smelly.
Yo, no, I'm good.
Yo, they keep having kids, so whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. What's
God,
that
you
about?
Smell like horse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I took a bath in one last night.
He's all like, yeah, I'm glad I was out there sleeping in Bessie's bin waiting on you.
Bessie's been. Oh, Bessie, she's a stinky one.
Oh, yeah. God damn, dude.
Man, they're nose blind, dude.
Have to be.
Dude, so when I was in biology class, we had this awesome professor. He was like, he just thought out of the box, you know, he was a creative person. It's just, but he said, and I just pretty much just believed everything that he said at face value. But he said if you don't shower for 40 days, you'll get back to your natural smell and you just won't stink anymore.
That sounds like the kind of shit that fucking... Do you know about forest dwellers in India?
No.
In some Hindi faith, I don't know which one it is. It might be Jainism, it might be Shivism, I don't know which one. But there's a belief that life has to come full circle. And after you have kids and you've done your job and your kids are adults, you return to the forest and live like an animal. And that's where you'll see a lot of those guys that are just like bone and skin and they're meditating in the woods. Those are forest dwellers. That's all they do. All they do.
That's tough.
Until they die.
Dude. Look at me. At least they have something to devote their lives to, right? I'm just a fucking capitalist, like fucking...
I know, right?
Fucking number. I'm just a statistic for the United States to fucking... Oh, yeah, we had a guy die. Like,
Well, there you go. Do you think ignorance is bliss?
No.
No, you don't think that the people who live on Sentinel Island, they're...
Well, kind of. I mean, like, the whole, like, the Buddhist thing where they, like, fucking just be chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but they're not, like, just ignorant. They're over there, like, thinking about shit.
Yeah, I wasn't saying they were stupid. I was just saying, like, people who didn't ever have any exposure to religion. People who are still, like, living in the Stone Age.
The whole strive for, like, fucking nirvana or whatever. Like, is that that's what they're doing? I don't know, but, like, I don't know. Like, they find inner peace and then, like, you'll fucking see, like, you see them talk. Sometimes they'll get, like, on fucking Instagram or shit and talk. And it's, like, just normal shit.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, I realize I don't really give a shit anymore. It's like, really? It took you 20 years to sit on your ass and fucking stay home to do that?
Hey, man.
I'm sure he does give a shit, though. Like, if you just spit in his face.
Yeah, right.
Whoop your ass or something.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes those people are serious, you know?
I don't know.
I mean...
Hey, did you see that thing where the guy The military guy burned himself for
Yes.
Palestine or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that
I've
about?
seen interesting takes about it. I've seen one of the guys on my Facebook who I usually would say I agree with politically and I have had conversations with in the past, has taken a bit of an extremist angle on this, and it kind of threw me off. He says that anybody who sides with that guy is an anti-Semite.
Explain what an anti-Semite is.
Nazi.
Why?
Because if you're siding with Palestine, then you're kicking the Jews out. Which I don't think that's how it works. I mean, he pointed out some really good points, though. Like Hamas, the bad guys, they're bad guys. The guys that are fighting for Palestine, they don't want to, like, just everybody live happy when they win. They're going to make it a dictatorship when they win, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to become probably Sharia law.
I don't understand it. And the shitty thing is that it didn't really make that much of an impact.
What? Oh, him? Yeah. Well, it did in a sense.
Like, it went viral, but then now it's blown over.
Well, the thing that was such a big deal was that it had people who wouldn't have ever been talking about it. And that's what was a big deal. Like, CNN did a spot on it. Fox News did a spot on it. So people who are just trying to follow the presidential election right now were being they have to see it.
Yeah, but they're not thinking about Palestine. They're thinking about what
Israel.
the fuck is going on with the soldiers.
That's definitely not what I haven't talked to a single person that gives a shit about the mental health of soldiers except for you guys.
The whole thing is the soldier, is that he was a soldier. If it was just a civilian that went out there, he killed himself, he would have not gone viral.
I understand that him being a soldier is what made it important.
The big deal.
Yeah, but nobody gives a shit about the soldiers' mental health.
Yeah, that's true. Not even the soldiers.
No, it's not. Nothing's changed in that degree. That's not what people are talking about that I've seen. Everything everybody's talking about is if he had any grounding in what he said, if anything he said was actual and factual, or if he was just...
I don't know what the fuck he said, dude. I thought he just burned himself and said free Palestine like 30 times.
No, he had a whole spiel that he said. A whole thing, dude.
Hey, man, I don't know.
Yeah. He was talking about how that the Palestinians have been, being murdered by their Jewish suppressors for fucking centuries, and he's not wrong. Not centuries, but decades, I don't know, dude. It's such a delicate situation.
Isn't he from here? That's insane, dude.
Yeah, he just cares a lot about what happens over there, I guess.
That is crazy.
Yeah, who knows?
That's a lot of care, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely was mentally ill, but like at the same time, I don't know. Have you seen any of the pictures of what's going on over there?
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up, but it's the same thing as like, yeah, I don't know.
It's the same reason anybody burnt. When my mom worked at the VA, somebody lit themselves in fire in the parking lot because
Dude, if you were to die by suicide, why don't you go over there and try to do something about it?
I know, right?
And then get murdered.
Yeah, live stream yourself over there, and then that'll get it across. Go AWOL, dude. Take your fucking.
At least you make it. You have a possibility of making a difference, right?
Yeah,
just burn yourself. That's kind of fucked.
Well, again,
I mean, it's
a powerful
protest.
I mean, it's a good protest.
What happened when the one monk burned himself? What was that?
That was about China, I think.
And that made a difference.
Yeah, everybody looked.
Yeah, it's in the history books.
Now,
so it looks like a big deal.
What sucks about the guy that burned himself for my mom was he was actually going for veterans, like the percentages. He was trying to get vet benefits. He was trying to draw attention to that, and literally nothing happened. He just burned to death.
That's tough.
Yeah. It only works if you're on a hot topic that it's popular for people to talk about. It's popular right now for people to have opinions about this. You know what I mean? If you don't have an opinion about the Israel versus Palestine thing right now.
Dude, I think like the people that commit suicide in the military, like I think, man.
You talking about Private Pile?
I don't know. Like, no. His is, I don't think that's like, that's probably only happened like 5 times, dude.
You don't think people kill themselves in boot camp very often?
They don't. No.
No.
I'll tell you what though, there are some actual pussies out there.
Oh.
Because when I was in fucking boot camp, the first day, and it sucks, yeah, but it's like, why did you even come out here?
Yeah.
At that point, like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Did you want to do this?
No.
Like, if you didn't want to do this, that's fine. Get out or whatever.
A lot of people don't want to do it, and they do it because their family's like, you fucking have to do it.
Yeah, I get it.
Sucks.
But the thing is, like, you're only signing away fucking, I guess it's 2 months, so it's 8 weeks. That's a long time, yeah. I mean, it was honestly like the Stanford prison experiment for me. I thought I was there. Honestly, thought I was there for a year.
Nice.
Like, it felt so fucking long. Because you're on like a schedule and they wake you up in the middle of the night and type shit.
Yeah.
Like the Stanford prison experiment. They keep waking them up at weird times.
Yeah.
Where you think days have passed, but it just hasn't. But anyway, it it wasn't hard, man. It
Yeah.
wasn't hard. And I actually had really great bonding experiences, and it was a lot of fun for me. I don't know. But anyway, the first day, dude fucking bawled his eyes out. And then, like, what they do is they, like, get hurt. They fake get hurt. Or sometimes they, like, you know, because one guy was like, oh, I have shin splints. And it's like, we don't do anything. You're walking.
Yeah.
But anyway, he claimed he had shin splints. And then he just, what happens is, like, the easiest way to get out of training is to do it. Because what happens is once you get meted or whatever, they send you to another place and you're there for 6 months. So you're in basic training for like 6 months, dude.
Nice.
No phone calls, no nothing. You're just in there.
That sounds like hell.
How fucked is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I had to go over there and do like a call, and we were like 4th week, 5th week or something. It was like this dude who got out in 2nd week. And I went over there, and like I said, it had felt like months had passed. And I fucking went over there, and I was like, dude, you're still here? He's like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. And I'm like, dude, we're going to get out, like, pretty soon.
Yeah, that's tough, dude.
It sucks, man.
Dude.
But, yeah, I mean, it's hard on some people, and I understand it because, you know, it, like, in some aspects, it was hard.
Oh, yeah.
For me,
I
but-
definitely couldn't do it. I don't like it when other people run my life, and that is the aspect of the military that's always scared me.
That's what basic training is. You pretty much just are on a different schedule.
And what sucks, too, is that it's like that for a lot of people when they're actually serving, too. Like, I talked to my buddy.
Operational is way different, though. Like, you're pretty much just a civilian that does a job.
Yeah. Well, I talked to Philip, and Philip is one of the guys I've been playing D&D with for quite some time. And he was a nuclear engineer on a sub. And they were on 16-hour days.
The Navy sucks ass, though, because you're
Yeah.
pretty much military 24/7.
Yes, they had 16-hour days.
Yeah, for me, though, like, I got to go home and fucking fuck around and then, like, be in the band and do all that. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's kind of what my experience was. But
Yeah, Air Force is different. Yeah, that's the thing is, like...
Navy would suck ass, yeah, because
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to be on a boat.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's it. That you're
well,
just on base.
He was in a sub, so he never even got to see sunlight
Fuck
or
that shit.
nothing,
Yeah.
dude. They're small, but Phil's small. He's like 5'2", 5'3". He's a little man. But yeah, he said that the worst part about it was the 16-hour sleep schedule, because that the higher ups were on 24s and they were on 16s, and the higher ups would call meetings all the time. And he was like, dude, I went almost a week without sleep one time because the motherfucker kept calling meetings on his schedule. I was like, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of it was tough. I mean, one time I went every week, they switched my shift. So I went from days to swings to mids.
Mm.
And so it's like, once you get off on Friday on days and then you have swings, you're going in, or I'm sorry, if you go from swings to days, you're going in, you don't even have a full day of layover until you go in for the next week.
That's tough, dude.
Yeah, that happened to me a bunch. And then they put me on swings. Swings sucked ass because you had to work. Like, the swing shift had to pick up all the slack from days and then do all the work for mids because mid shift had less people. They were, like, understaffed. So you had to do all the work. That's what they wanted. You did all the work, and then people on mids, they did nothing.
Yeah.
When I was on mids, I was just playing cards and sleeping.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But you don't get to be on mids for that long if you're any good, I guess.
Yeah.
Fucking
Tough gig being
dog
good at your
water,
job.
dude.
Yeah.
I
Fucking
know.
dumbass.
I know. If you're any good, you have to fucking work all the time.
Everybody knows that. You're not supposed to be good at your job.
I remember I
everywhere.
did 8 whole months on swings, and I was bitching every day. I was like, dude, we got to get off of this. And eventually they let us off. But yeah, it was fucked.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And then, like, people would bitch, like, oh, I've been on swings for, like, 4 months now. Like, what? Yeah, try another 4 months, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. So, like, what the fuck is up with YouTube blocking us all the time? I
understand the Godzilla thing.
No, I don't, because I literally watched a fucking video that was an hour and a half of literally, he didn't even put himself on the screen, dude. He was just
Of
showing the
that
Godzilla.
video?
Of similar other Godzilla movies that are owned by the same company.
I don't know, man. The Shin Godzilla is the only thing.
I know, it's just
Maybe it
stupid.
was the audio.
It must have been.
I don't know.
Maybe we should have chopped it up instead of just doing a screen rip from another YouTube video. That might have been what did it.
It's all right. I cut it. It looks like it should never have been there.
I know, but it should have, and that makes me mad.
Yeah. Well,
Fuck you, YouTube.
yeah, YouTube's got it out for us, you know.
It sucks too, because like we're so small of creators that it's like we're not hurting anybody.
I know, it's pretty fucked.
We're not making any money off of this. Why can't we make content that's whatever we want it to be?
Dude. Yeah, I know. And then you got people like fucking, what is that one guy that says God is in me?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he can be out there and say whatever he wants.
dude. He's actually got YouTube videos, where he's like naked and humping the air.
Dude, I don't know, man.
How's that okay?
But I'll tell you what. On top of that, fucking like all the big podcasts right now are just like
Going on tour.
they're going on tour, but they're doing this crazy shit. Like they're just like, oh, and it's like, how are you getting away with that?
Yeah,
How like we do that, we're fucked.
yeah.
But how are they getting away with it? They're just like, fuck.
I don't
it's
know.
Like, yo,
There are a lot. It's not even just that. There are some pretty wild fucking out there stuff that people get away with, and they have huge numbers. And it's like, how? You're being an actual asshole. I'm trying to be
I know,
funny.
right?
You're being an asshole.
I know, yeah. At a certain point, though, I feel like the algorithm, even if it tries to shut you down, it doesn't matter because people are going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, I know. But the thing about it
They're
is,
like searching.
it's not about the algorithm shutting you down. It's about them making it so you just can't make any money. Because even if it pops off, if we get 10 million fucking views on it, and YouTube's like, no, you're not allowed to make money on this one.
Dude, YouTube barely pays, too. I've watched a video of a guy talking about how much he makes on YouTube, and he's like, yeah, I'm a full-time YouTube creator. I got like 20 million views on this video, and I made I guess he made like $1,000 on it.
That's not enough.
It's not enough.
You would have to get 20 million views every month to survive.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, well, he's at a point where he's getting 20 million like every day or whatever on his videos. So that's fucking a lot of money. But it's like, how long did you have to grind to get to that point?
Yeah, that's when I watched Charlie, Moist Critical. I know you say you don't know the guy, but I don't know how. He's like at one of the biggest Apex teams right now that he runs, the Moist team. But
Like Apex Legends?
yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, dude, he's been huge into MLG from the get-go, though. Not just this, he did Rust a long time ago.
Is he top rank?
Uh-huh.
Wild. You know that there's only 750 players that are top rank? That's
I don't
wild.
know. I don't ever watch him play Apex. I just watch him for his funny shit. I just know that he has this because he just posted some stuff. But anyways,
I play in the rank that's just below top rank.
he gets like 2 million views
proud
on
of
every video he uploads, and he uploads like 2 videos a day. It's crazy. He's got like a cult following. It's weird.
Like, I never thought of myself as a, like, big player, but
Yeah.
playing in Masters, that's crazy.
Hey, if you're good, you're good. I was really good at Free For All and Black Ops 1. And that was the only time I was ever good at anything.
Black Ops 1 was phenomenal. It had the best one in the
Amazing.
chamber. It was the best.
Oh my
I
God,
loved it.
yes. Loved that game.
Yeah, it was the best.
Gun game was also fun, man.
Gun game is good, yeah. But they always have gun game.
I know, but Black Ops was special.
Black Ops 1 was way better gun game.
It's the best.
Yeah. Gun game on Black Ops 2 was significantly worse.
Yeah, don't you end up getting like the Derringer or something fucking useless?
I don't know. They had that weird, like, automatic pistol that was dog shit.
Yeah.
It was ass. Then they had the 3-round burst. That one was all right. Actually, Black Ops 2 is when I decided I wanted to, like, diamond all of the weapon classes.
Oh, okay.
So
3-round is always my preferred, unless I'm doing like a mid to long range snipey kind of thing, and then I want a semi.
I used to be a quick scope pistol guy only.
Really?
Or I would be quick scope, and on Black Ops 1 I had the fucking knife that shot knives
the
out.
ballistic knife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like a fucking... I was a
Those were annoying.
surgical slash... I mean, I
Oh,
would
the
have...
tomahawk. The tomahawk. Getting a
Oh, my
tomahawk
God.
across the map was the
I
most
was great.
annoying thing.
I was great at it. Dude, I could do bank shot. I was doing fucking weird shit, man.
Yeah.
It was like, there was one time I used to play with my buddies and I would be like, all right, so I'm only going to use tomahawks. Y'all can use whatever you want. And it was like 2v1. It was 2v1 and I would fucking go ham on their asses, dude.
It'd be like that.
Like, they're like, oh, I got you now. And I would just turn the corner and hit them with a bank.
yeah,
And it's like,
insta
bro,
kill.
get fucked, boy.
Yeah.
Like,
The
I
insta kill
don't
thing
know,
is what
man.
was stupid about that to me. I feel like it should half health you. I don't think it should instantly fucking.
Yeah,
Well,
Apex
listen-
is like that.
Is it?
Yeah, you can't. The only insta-kill thing in that game
Is it the sniper rifle?
is the big sniper rifle. It's called a Kraber, and you have to. It's rare. You have to get it out of a fucking
That's
care
the
package.
thing that's weird to me about Apex 2 is it's one of those drop games.
Yeah, it's a battle royale. But yeah, it's really rare to get it, and if you do get it, it's hard to hit.
Is it?
Yeah, it's hard to hit, and then if you hit him, you have to hit him in the head to knock him.
Yeah. I watch a guy, I'll have to look another time and tell you his YouTube channel, but he does a thing where he does gun comparisons in games, and he's all like, bullet drop from this game to this game to this game, and why does this pistol one-shot you in the head from far away? You know, he's like, that doesn't make any sense. It's an interesting thing. He breaks it down. He's got all the little bars like maneuverability for the weapon, speed that you fire, reload speed, all that. And he does an actual like side-by-side comparison. It's really good. I'll send it to you because it's fun. It's cool to watch, you know. But that is something that's always like cool about a lot of the shooting games is think about how much math they have to do to get the bullet drop and everything, right? You know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Wow.
but a lot of them are shit. Like
Yeah.
Call of Duty, you don't even worry about bullet drop, dude.
No.
The maps aren't big enough,
Yeah.
and if they are, if you're shooting that far in Call of Duty,
What's
maybe
the,
one tick above them.
what's the one? Is it Sniper Elite? Is the one with the really good sniping in it?
I don't
it's a
know.
game
Battlefield.
made for it. I've heard Battlefield had some of the best.
I've got some crazy shots on it. It's actually kind of hard, but once you get it, then it's pretty easy.
Hell yeah, dude.
But Battlefield's a lot of fun. It's more like the way I play that game is different than other shooters, you know. But having like Call of Duty is like really the basis of all the shooters.
I know it's kind of
You
weird.
know, if you're good at Call of Duty, you're gonna be decent at Apex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're gonna need those skills. Now, there's differences in Apex if you want to up your game. Like you have to have good positioning. Call of Duty, run around and shoot a guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where the fuck you are. You know what I mean? Like when I'm in Call of Duty, I have certain paths. Like if I'm
Yeah.
running close range, I'll run a different path. Or if
Yeah.
I'm running longer range, then I'll run a different path. You know, and that's
Mm.
just, and I'll run the same exact path every time I spawn. You know, because it's just where all the people are.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
I gotta kill.
It's the same if you ever played Counter-Strike?
Yeah, I've seen some gameplay. I've never played it though.
There's only like 5 maps in Counter-Strike. So everybody has the same things. But because of that, it's crazy like the next level thinking these motherfuckers do with traps that they set up sometimes. It's cool. I love that. The repetitiveness makes it kind of neat, you
Mhm.
know. But
Yeah,
if you-
shooters, man. I'm like on and off with shooters.
I used to be really big into them. Anymore, I don't care.
So you want to do I
You
kind of wanted to do a
you
Tyler
wanna-
the Creator song.
I'll do some hip hop from that era. I would rather do some Kid Cudi.
Okay, so we're gonna do what is that? 2010s hip hop.
2000s, 2010s, yeah.
Let's see when he did this album that I'm gonna do. 2011 is when I'm doing it. So
Let me see when he uploaded it. 15 years ago, so that's 2009.
about the same time.
Yeah, I can make the cut. 74 million views.
All right, so I'm gonna do Yonkers by Tyler the Creator. It's a fucking crazy beat, dude. His style is weird because he pretty much changes his style on every record.
Yeah.
So this one is like, I don't know, but he's very vulgar,
Oh yeah.
which is strange.
Yeah, he's intentionally offensive and alternative to be odd.
Yeah,
And I love that.
yeah. But anyway, I'm just now getting into it, so we're gonna do Yonkers by Tyler the Creator. The beat is very important for this song.
Love it.
I'm a fucking walking paradox. No, I'm not. Threesomes with a fucking triceratops. Repped hard, rapping as I'm mocking deaf rock stars. Wearing synthetic wigs made of anwars, dreadlocks, bedrock, hard.
Yeah, that's kind of a banger, dude.
I love his flow. His flow is always, the delivery is fucking immaculate, dude.
Yeah, dude,
So good.
it was mint.
I have something a little slower.
But he says, I'm a motherfucking paradox. And he says something
Have
about
a threesome
with
with
Triceratops. I
Triceratops.
love that.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's the best.
Oh, dude, he's amazing.
It's the
He's
best
great.
line ever, dude. Yeah. So go for it.
Mine's kind of cringe. It's like all heartfelt, but it's Kid Cudi and the prayer. I just love the.
Plain Pat, what up?
My heart thump, not from being nervous sometimes. I'm thinking God made me special here on purpose. So all the while till I'm gone, make my words important. So if I slip away, if I die today, the last thing you remember won't be about some apple
he's a
bottom
big time,
jeans with the boots, with the fur.
in the fields kind of
Baby,
rapper, dude.
I fucking love him.
Yeah. He did, I mean, his big one is Day and Night, right?
Yeah.
He had some other ones that were really big.
Switching Lanes is really good. The prayer. Dennis, give me another shot of that whiskey. Just a bunch, man. He's fucking great, dude. And I love his approach too. His approach to the way he does music is not.
I feel like that's some early mumble rap.
I would say it kind of leads into it, except for it doesn't have the beat and everything's different. Like he uses
Yeah,
a lot of
definitely.
actual instruments. Like that's
Yeah,
a guitar,
yeah.
And I love that about him, dude. He does like the song "Erase Me," which I don't know if you've heard, but it's like literally just a rock song that he does. It's great. I love him, dude. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Anybody who can just fucking take influence, from such a broad array of shit, can dick it down. Love it.
Definitely. Yeah. Dude, yeah. Pre-made bullshit songs, you can't have those.
Yep.
You got to be creative. Nobody's going to like it. I'm just kidding. Everybody's going to like it if you just write a bullshit prop song.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, that had 74 million, so that's a big deal.
yeah.
But
But it's not Billie Eilish numbers.
No, it's not. But I mean, that's so irrelevant.
Billie Eilish is pretty good, though.
She's such an
She does
anomaly.
some stuff. I don't know.
Some of the stuff they do is neat, but it's so like it sucks.
Once she hit her pocket, though, like, her early stuff is cool to me.
Mm,
Like, her first songs and stuff, because that's them just writing in their bedroom and, like,
yeah,
writing fucking songs.
yeah, and that's. Cool
I mean,
and
they
endearing.
obviously made it specifically. Phineas, he knew what a pop song was supposed to be like,
Yeah,
and he made it specifically to be big.
yeah.
So it's kind of like tainted a little bit, but like,
That's not
it's-
the reason that I don't like it. I don't like it because I think it sounds mid.
yeah, I mean that's what it is though.
Yeah,
It's because they like made it to be popular.
yeah,
But hey,
yeah,
what works, I guess.
yeah. And what doesn't, it does not. Which is
Yeah, it's Pop 44.
thanks, Obama.
All right. Bacon cream pies in your mom's eyes. Bacon cream pies all the time.
Nobody's seen my shoe.
I hate tomatoes, but I love ketchup.
Can't find it. I'm
That's
looking
just
everywhere.
a thing, and it's not even true.
Please,
My
I have to
favorite
drive
thing when
home.
I think about you, and I have to say,
Had an edible
it was
earlier.
hard to leave you
I think I'm
alone.
gonna shit my pants.
Please, God, help me leave you alone.